we've got to take it. So God bless you. Marty McClendon for Lieutenant Governor.
Thank you. So how do we take our land back? How do we take our freedoms back? I have a vote, and that's the question I have for you. How many of you are registered voters? All of you? Awesome. Give yourself a big hand. Yes. Anybody who is not, we do have right there that lady in the red, Debbie Blodgett. She has forms to fill it out and register yourself. You can go online as well, but she has it right there. So if somebody is not registered, please do that today. My next speaker is Jeffrey Beeler. Does everybody know Jeffrey? So I'll let Jeffrey tell his story.
Well, sometimes I come here fully in suit, sometimes I'm only halfway in suit, because today I was out putting up signs and I didn't have time to change my pants, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, my name is Jeffrey Beeler. I'm running for Congress here in District 1. District 1 incorporates everything from kind of the northeast part of King County, places like Kirkland, Redmond, Woodinville, Bothell, all the way to the Canadian border. So it's a huge, huge district. And because of that, it takes a lot of time to cover with signs. And it takes a lot of signs to cover that area too. And then I got a picture from one of my supporters up there in Whatcom County. It says, you can put out your sign, but it doesn't mean people won't go and destroy it. And I was really disappointed, but that's politics. When the other side doesn't like what you have to say, because they know I'm going to beat them, they destroy signs. So you're going to see more signs popping up all over Lake Stevens, Mill Creek, Snohomish, Bothell, Woodinville this weekend, because guess what? Ballots are coming out when? Friday of next week. All right, check your mailboxes and then go down that list and start checking R's. And don't just check any R, because there's going to be several R's on a lot of these ballots. You've got a lot of great campaign, candidates up here. You do your investigation, do your research, and make sure you choose those right ones. Tim Hazel is a great one in second. He's a great congressional second, going against, what's his name? Absent Rick Larson is what I understand. In the first district, of course, I'm going up against Rubber Stamp Del Bene, because all she does is chkum, Pelosi all the time. In fact, I was just in a forum with her over on Thursday evening, me and the other 5 candidates going against her, and it was quite interesting. I've been in these forums in the past because in 2018 I ran for the same seat because I wanted to make sure that people knew in 2020 who I was, because when you enter a race a lot of times the first time, they don't know you. So anyway, at this candidate forum on Thursday, it was very interesting to watch the other 4 players because they were all after her, which is unusual because it's typically they have their little cyclone of information that they want to give you, But this was attack after attack after attack on the Democrat Party on how they're running this country. And they absolutely hate it. And she was kind of like in the corner going, oh my gosh. So I feel that when you're walking around and talking in the district, not just my district, I know Tim feels it in his, there is an undercurrent happening right now. And I love the fact that all of you basically raised your hand when it was said, who is registered to vote? Because your vote, whether it's one of yours, 2 of yours, or 122, I think Dino Rossi lost by about 122, 127 votes, right? That's how important your vote is. Now, once you get your ballot, fill it out and return it. Of course, in this state, it's the easiest thing to do because it comes to your mailbox, it comes to your house. Go put it back in the mailbox when it's done because you don't even have to put a stamp on it anymore. Washington has made it so darn easy.
Yeah, Dropbox.
Put it in a Dropbox. I do the same thing, actually. I put it in the Dropbox. But I'm talking to those who just don't understand that there's a Dropbox that they can do that to. You can put it in the mail and let it go, okay? But yes, the Dropbox is the safest place because you know then that the people from the elections department are going to get it straight to it and it's not going to go through 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hands. That is one of the concerns with mail-in balloting. But I know Kim Wyman had a conversation with me the other day. She says, Jeffrey, the ability to monitor your vote now is definitely a lot better it was than 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago, somebody could start up in Whatcom County, register to vote, go to Skagit County, register to vote, vote, go to Snohomish County, register to vote, vote, and they wouldn't be able to know because there's no way to have tracked it back then. Now, when somebody goes to Whatcom County and then they go to Skagit County, the system will automatically kick out that first vote. And it will keep kicking it out until they're done voting. So that's the positive of what's going on. We've got Kim Wyman out there, another good person to be voting for, because she's trying to protect our votes in a Democrat-controlled state. So, another great person. We got Sutherland here. I thought I saw him. He's over here. He's going to be talking to you later. Another great person to be voting for. We've got, I haven't seen Carolyn, but she's another great from the 39th. You know, these are people that we need to make sure that we get them re-elected back to Olympia. Now, let's talk about the 1st Congressional District. Right now, we've got a person in that slot who says that she represents all of us, but I don't know. Does she represent any of you? No. Now, that's the problem with a lot of people who go back to Congress. Well, actually, say a lot of Democrats that go back to Congress. They're out there to represent who? The Democrat Party, not the people in their district. And that's not what this is all about. Now, she did even one thing worse, which was back in, I believe it was in May, they had a vote because they had taken some COVID time off, you know. They were gone for about 6-8 weeks. I called it they were non-essential. They shouldn't have gotten paid, but that's a different story. But when they came back, one of the first votes they took was, let's allow, maybe I can't make it back to DC. I'm going to give my vote to somebody in Utah to vote for me. Well, that person in Utah does not know what the 1st Congressional District is. And so when a measure would come up for them to vote on, that person from Utah would now be able to cast that vote. But now there's amendments that are always being added to these things. And that person in Utah does not know whether that amendment's going to be good or bad for a 1st Congressional District. But rubber stamped Del Benny said, I don't care. Your vote really doesn't matter to me, so I'm just going to give it away. So that's what they did. So now 44 people in Congress and the House of Representatives could run this country. Not 435, but 44. That's the type of representation we've got back there now, and we need to change that. And that's why I'm running here. I'm also running because of the fact that this budget that we have, I'm a businessman. The budget is sitting at $26-point-something trillion, and the Democrats have just passed another bill to add another $3 trillion to it, and they're calling it stimulus. Have you read it? It's not stimulus. In fact, when they passed the first stimulus bill, Nancy Pelosi came out and she said, well, we have to pass it before we can let you know what's in it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, deja vu, that was like the healthcare stuff. When Obamacare was, well, you have to pass it before you can read it. I'm going, oh my gosh, you guys, people are actually voting for the Democrats who are saying it. I will represent you and I will tell you exactly what's in each bill. I will represent you and stop the taxes from being increased. How many taxes are increased in 13? Actually, in 19? 13, I gave the number away. In 2019, the state of Washington increased your taxes 11 different times, or 13 different times. Well, I got too many numbers. When the advisory vote came out, we told them no. And now we need to go in 2020 and vote them out. So amen, let's go for it. My name is Jeffrey Beeler, BeelerForCongress.org or .com. I've got them both. That way they couldn't steal it away from me. I'm going to be blunt, we need your money. Because the Democrats, my opponent is a multi-millionaire. She's the 13th wealthiest person in Congress. Her net worth between her husband is estimated $123 million. Okay? It's going to take a lot of money to run up against her. That's okay. I'm a businessman. I know how to frugally spend that money to make it count in the places that will work. So please go to my website, hit the donate button. You're going to see other candidates. We need to get signs up. We need to get flyers out. We need to get people convinced. Go red. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jeffrey Beeler.